Good morning, everyone. I hope you have a good cup of coffee or tea with you. My name is Anna Dansk, and I'm Head of Marketing Communications at Ovako Group. We have 45 minutes of interaction together, and we would like to introduce you to our new facility here in Smedjebacken, vacuum tank degassing. With support of our owners, Nippon Steel and Sanyo Special Steel, we continue to invest in strengthening our position as a world leader in advanced steel solutions. Adding vacuum treatment to the manufacturing process in Smedjebacken will improve the steel properties, making it suitable for advanced application on the market. And now to the event. We will address your questions after the presentations, and you will do it in writing in the chat function. We will also record this session so you can afterwards share it with colleagues. But now let's start with a quick look at Ovako.
Imagine steel of the highest strength and quality. Imagine it can be used in the most demanding of industrial applications. And imagine it can be used over and over again. Now, what would you like to do with it? We are Ovako. Our material is engineering steel, and we know that with the right steel, imagination is your only limit. We've been doing this since the 17th century. Throughout changes in the organization, the local production sites remain the heart of our production. And the knowledge of our people is the core of our trusted way of producing steel. Safety is our top priority in everything we do. We are determined to reach our long-term goal of a zero-accident workplace. We are proud of our way of working with broad networks in research and development. Together with our customers, we design steel that solves their specific needs. All our steel comes from scrap. We produce bar steel in all executions. We also produce tube, ring, and wire, and supply an industry-leading range of hard-chromed long products. We use a broad range of steel grades. The steel grades are grouped into our brand families to meet different customer demands, proving again and again that imagination is your only limit. Imagine steel that meets your needs. Now, imagine it being even better.
I hope the film worked okay for you. And now I would like to introduce to you Göran Jansson, President and Ovako Business Unit Smedbox. Göran.
Anna. Dear customers and colleagues, I'm very happy to see that so many of you had the possibility to attend this digital event. Today we will present our latest major investment within Ovako Group, the vacuum tank degassing facility here in Smedjebacken. You're all very, very welcome. My name is, as Anna mentioned, Göran Jansson, and I am since October the president of the business unit Smedbox within Ovako Group. The business unit Smedbox consists of two sites, one here in Smedjebacken and one in Boxholm. During the two events we have today, we will have around 200 attendance, and of course I would have liked to meet you all in person here at our lovely site in Smedjebacken. But due to the extreme situation we have with COVID, we had to arrange this as a digital event, and I hope you all will enjoy it. Before I will hand over to my colleagues who will give you more details and of the possibilities we will now have, I will share a very brief presentation of Ovako Group and the business unit Smedbox. For those who are not familiar with Ovako, we are a leading European manufacturer of engineering steel, mainly for customers in bearing, transportation, and manufacturing industries. We are today roughly 2,800 employees, and we consist of four business units, 3 here in Sweden and 1 in Imatra in Finland. We also have sales offices at strategic locations around the world. Since March 2019, Ovako is a subsidiary of Sanyo Special Steel and a member of Nippon Group, one of the largest steel producer in the world. Together with Nippon Steel and Sanyo Steel, we are and have a world-leading position. And to conclude the high-level description of Ovako, I also want to mention our sustainability efforts, which I'm actually very proud of. Environmental aspects together with employee safety have always been a fundamental part of Ovako's business. We have a carbon footprint that is 80% lower than the global average. And employee safety is top priority for us. And our long-term target is, of course, to have 0 accidents in our workplaces. Okay, short about the business unit Smedbox. We have efficient billet casting process with different rolling mills and able to customize steel products. We have a steel mill located here in Smedjebacken, where it's 100% scrap-based. We also have a medium section rolling mill and further downstream processes. It's a lovely picture from the Smedjebacken plant located in Dalarna. We have a long tradition of steel making, and it started all the way back to the 1700th century. We are today 540 skilled employees in the business unit, and we have the capabilities of rolling rounds, square, flats, and special profiles. In Boxholm, we have 2 rolling mills, 1 medium and 1 fine section mill, and also further downstream processing. And now back to why we actually are here, the investment in our vacuum tank degasser in Smedjebacken. This will, of course, create new opportunities for us. And as you all know, the demand towards steel of higher performance and quality has continuously increased. And therefore, I'm very happy and proud that our owner, as one of the first decision they took, was to approve the investment in the vacuum tank degassing facility here in Smedjebacken. The investment will lead to improved steel quality, more efficient production flows, environmental improvements, and create new business opportunities for us. In this slide you see now, you have a picture, an old picture from the 50s, and a picture from our new vacuum facility. So as you can see, a lot have happened since then. The VTD investment, together with the investment we did in the continuous casting in 2014, will take Smedjebacken to the next level when it comes to quality and when it comes to performance. And one anecdote, back then when they had the opening ceremony for the new continuous casting, I was here attending as a customer. And I remembering that I was really impressed of what I saw with the investment they have made, but also remembering that in the end, I mentioned to the Ovako guys at that time that there is only one thing missing now, and that's the vacuum tank degassing. So here I am, standing responsible for the business unit Smedbox, presenting our new investment in the vacuum tank degassing. And this shows that we are really investing for the future. With that, I will show you a short movie before I will hand over the word to Göran Nyström, Ovako's Executive Vice President, Group Marketing and Technology.
So from one Göran to the next Göran, I'm pleased to be here as well. And of course, we would have loved to see you here in person. But we are filled with pride and joy to present our VTD investment here in Smedjebacken. My role today is to talk about the growing importance of clean and sustainable steel, something we're also very happy and proud about. You know, the world is built with the help of steel. 90% of all metal traded products are steel. 1/3 of the mass of the earth is iron. So it's a part of our society. It's the building blocks for our society. But there are big differences between steel and steel. And at Ovako, our vision is innovative steel for a better engineered future. We believe that you can make a difference by choosing the right steel performance, the performance that is fit for purpose to create the best performing products. And with Ovako as a supply chain partner, we provide then clean, high-performing steels that enable large CO2 savings in their end-use applications. This is our biggest contribution to sustainability in the world. But also, when you look at 1 ton of steel compared to another ton of steel, the cradle-to-gate footprint, all the carbon dioxide generated, we have among all our peers a world-leading footprint. And we can also provide you data for all individual product deliveries, the product forms, the alloys that you buy from us. Furthermore, we're not going to rest there. We're not going to stop there. We are involved in some really interesting high-tech projects to further evolve our sustainability position. Now, clean steel. I think most people by now realize that to make a really high-performing steel, you also need to control the inside of the steel, the cleanness of the steel. And at Ovako, this has been a very important topic since a century. And we have different types of options depending on the mills we supply from. But typically, you can roughly say there is a large family of, let's say, conventional steels, and then you have clean steels. And it's not so easy to see the difference, but you can do it with high technology, ultrasonic scanning immersed in water with high frequencies, a technology that is constantly being developed. And then you can actually see the inside of steel. And on this image here, you see the difference between conventional steels and clean steels. We like to talk about this diagram, maybe a bit hard to read for you, but it shows on the x-axis the size, the critical size of inclusions inside the steel. And on the y-axis, the fatigue strength. And the fatigue strength is what decides how the product can be designed. In fact, about 90% of the world's failures is due to fatigue, it's been stated. So with a cleaner steel, you also ensure a higher fatigue strength. And Smedjebacken now, by this investment, is moving up the ladder, taking a big leap and chasing, in fact, what we already have in Imatra and Hofors. So by that, the products become more dependable, and the designs that they can help to facilitate can become smarter, lighter weight, longer life, reduced total costs. So congratulations to Smedjebacken, this is a big step. Just one example what our products can do in actual end-use applications. This is for wind power. More than 1/3 of the wind turbines in the world, they feature large bearing rings from Ovako, in this case from Hofors. And when you look at that, just for a small portion of what we produce in Hofors, 1 year's production of rings can actually facilitate a lifetime saving of 260 million tons of carbon dioxide. Big numbers. But that aside, we also need to consider the carbon footprint of steel making. And since steel is so abundant on Earth, the total CO2 emissions from steel is quite large. It's somewhere 8 up to 10% of CO2 emissions on the planet. When we look at this, we look at what we think is the only reasonable way of looking at it. That is to include all upstream sources of carbon dioxide. We take responsibility also for those. And then we combine that with our own operations, and then we look at the product that actually leaves our facilities, and we consider all yield losses, etc. That's what's called the cradle-to-gate carbon dioxide footprint. That means it becomes clearly measurable, and it also means taking responsibility. When we do that, and we compare our operations, we actually find that Smedjebacken Boxholm operations is the best we have in the group. And among all our peers, it's the best in the world. So when we are looked at around and try to find a better benchmark, we have not found anything that can compete with this. 389 is the latest figure, it's quite new. So again, congratulations, Smedjebacken. If we look at the world global average, it's about 2,600 tons, considering then all upstream sources, considering yield losses. So we can say that by buying 1 ton of steel from Ovako versus the global average, there is a difference, a saving of 2 tons of carbon dioxide. And that doesn't go away. That saving, in a cradle-to-gate perspective, stays with the products that you, our customers, produce. With this new VTD investment, we are taking further steps to improve sustainability. We believe it's around 3,500 tons per year of carbon dioxide that we are removing, and that's not yet included in the figures you saw on the previous page. So the cradle-to-gate footprint for Smedjebacken will continue to be improved. And it's like this, by many steps, that we will continue to develop our leadership in sustainability. We will consider all upstream sources in our purchasing and make those decisions based on sustainability. And we will ensure a fact-based approach and give you, our customers, detailed product declarations where you can see what the carbon footprint is for our products. And we will lead the development towards further sustainability for us and for the steel industry by close involvement in a number of key projects. So this is our promise for the future. So in summary, it's the value chain perspective that helps to promote the right decision making by working as a supply chain partner close to end-use applications, but also upstream. So you saw how the cradle-to-gate perspective that involves suppliers, all incoming materials, everything incoming. And you saw also how end-use applications, such as wind power, requires a close collaboration in product development and quality along this supply chain. In summary, this actually means that what you see here, Smedjebacken, with the blue water and green forests, is actually your strength. It's our customer's strength. What we do here to produce the most sustainable products, high-performing clean steels, is something that will be for the benefit of you in your products and in your cradle-to-gate footprint. Thank you very much. And I'm now happy to hand over to two guys who really know customer interactions and supply chain working. Adam and Hasse, please come on the stage. They have been receiving customers here for many years, and typically it's here in Kursgården, in this house, that we are receiving our customers. Adam, please.
Thank you, Göran. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Hylén, and I am the Vice President of Business Development for the business unit Smedjebacken.
And also a very warm welcome and good morning from my side. My name is Hans Kooijman, and I'm the Vice President of Sales for the business unit Smedjebacken. And Adam and myself will try to show you why we have invested in the vacuum tank degasser and what has driven us to come to this decision and this investment. So
today we're gonna discuss why our customers have asked for vacuum degassing here in Smedjebacken. And to be able to answer this question, we need to talk about the customer needs, your needs, the customer, and the understanding of those needs. We here at Ovako, we strive to develop our steel and our products, and that development is based on this understanding of our customer needs. And the investment here in Smedjebacken in the vacuum degassing is a very important step to meet the needs for the future from our customers. And what I would like to start is to go back a couple of years, to go back to 2014, to talk about what was happening then. Because in 2014, we had a big investment where we invested in a new continuous casting. So we invested in a new caster for the future. But not only did we invest in a state-of-the-art caster, we also made it possible to increase our billet size. Historically, we have been casted 125 millimeter squares and 165. With this new investment, we had the possibility to go up and cast 200 millimeter square. And the new caster is also prepared to go even further than that in the future. And this opened up a lot of new possibilities for us. And Hans, you're out there on the market talking to our customers all the time. What was the reaction back then in 2014-15 when you came out? What was the response?
yeah, I would say the response was very positive, if not fantastic, because to have the possibility to cast 200 square enables us to enlarge our product range and size range. So doors that were closed were opening up. So we haven't only expanded, let's say, our portfolio with our existing customers, but also have been able to find new customers and new applications based on our 200 square billet. So
yeah, and today we are here, 2020, with a new big investment for the steelworks here in Smedjebacken. And just love to hear how the history from our new business unit president, that he was here in 2014 as a customer, and already at that time he saw the potential here if we could combine this new caster with the vacuum degassing, and that's where we are today. The combination of these two will be a very nice combination for the future. And Hans, I mean, with your experience being so long in the steel business, what is there any special segments, products, and things like that you see potentially going forward here?
Adam, I would almost say too many to mention. I think the vacuum tank degasser investment has been on our wish list for, I would say, at least 15 years. And it has been, in one of my previous roles, sort of frustrating that we saw a lot of inquiries with the demand of having to have or to offer vacuum degas steel. And basically, we couldn't. So to have that opportunity now, is simply fantastic, is great. I mean, it's something that makes my sales heart beat a little bit faster. And I think now, coming back to your question, I think one of the products that we already have is the SP bars, but I think in combination with the vacuum degassing, maybe Adam, you can tell a little bit more about that.
Absolutely, I would love to, because I think we can stop there a little bit and just talk about our SP bar and the reason and the key to the success that we have had with the SP bar, and especially into the automotive sector, is repeatability. That's the key. That's the benefit of the SP bar. And this is because we can control the finishing rolling temperature. We are controlling the temperature during the rolling. And for every product, we have unique recipes. This means that we will get the same properties, head to tail, bar to bar, rolling after rolling, year after year. So you will always have the same properties. And to connect this now with the SP bar, with the bigger billet sizes and the vacuum degassing, that's going to be a fantastic combination going forward, and especially towards the automotive and the forging industry and machining shops and so forth. So just bear with me here, Hans, a little bit. I mean, we see new potential, but we are also, I mean, we have developed products with the SP bar for 10, 15 years, and especially into applications like steering racks and stabilizer bars, for both for cars and for commercial vehicles. But of course, our customer, they are developing, and we want to follow. And we see now with the new steels coming out, and that the requirement there is that we need to have vacuum degassing. We need to have the bigger billets to fulfill the properties that they are asking. And we have already produced grades into this these applications that are under development and on the way out on the market. But Hans, okay, we have talked about round bars, but Smedjebacken, it's much more than just round bars. I mean, 50% of what we're doing are flat bars, and also into the automotive. And just with your experience, can you tell us a little bit what you see as a potential from the flat bar side?
Yeah, gladly I would say. And yes, flat bars, as you mentioned, is 50% of what we do. And I think especially in the spring segment, we have had a very interesting journey, I would say 15 to 20 years. I think we have established ourselves as a quality supplier. We know that we are very good in service quality, which is in this segment a very important criteria. But also here in this segment, the demands on the steel, the fatigue life, etc., is increasing. So now adding the vacuum degassing is giving us another plus in the market. So it will even strengthen our position even more.
Yeah. So I mean, we can conclude that, I mean, we see great potential both into the automotive, both on round bars and flat bars. But I mean, we are into other segments as well. Can you tell us a little bit on other segments where we can benefit from this new investment?
Yes, as you can see on the slide, I mean, we are having big customers in cold drawing that are cold drawing our steel. Which now with the 200 square billets, we are offering bigger sizes. But one aspect that the vacuum degassing comes into play and is really important is in the lifting equipment. It's nice to be able to have bigger sizes, but in this particular segment with these specific steel grades, there is a risk that we have, and I'm not a technician, that you can have hydrogen entrapment, and that can lead to failures of the steel. So with the vacuum degasser in place, we are going to eliminate that risk completely. So it's not only bigger sizes, but we can deliver a stronger, better, safer steel. So again, a bonus for us. But now we have talked about, let's say, existing segments and flat bars and round bars, but could we maybe share, Adam, a segment, an application where we're a little bit new in.
Absolutely, I would be glad to do that. And as most of you out there know, that I mean, from Ovako, with Ovako, it's bearing steels. It's in our DNA. With the beautiful steel plants at Imatra and Hofors, we are producing the best bearing steels in the world with the IQ and the BQ. But now with the combination of the vacuum degassing here in Smedjebacken and the larger billets possibility, we see that on the standard bearing, on the smaller sizes below 50 millimeter, we can be a part of this and contribute to the overall offering from Ovako. And actually, we have already produced in our new equipment here 100 chrome 6 standard bearing grades. It's been melted, it's been rolled to 50 millimeter, and we have sent it to our great R&D research center in Hofors, and they have evaluated this, and so far it looks very promising. And Hans, you've been in your previous role key account manager for the big bearing customers out there. How is your reaction to this?
Yeah, again, here I go again. More opportunities for us. Yes, I mean, in my previous role as dealing for one of the major bearing accounts and being proud of having represented Imatra and Hofors in this business. But there was always like the missing link. And also the question of what about Smedjebacken? And bearing steel without vacuum degassing is just not going to happen. So yeah, I'm completely agreeing that having the facility now here in Smedjebacken will enable us to sort of expand the portfolio of Ovako and play an even bigger role in the bearing segment. So very exciting.
Yeah, yeah. So we can conclude that we have touched upon a small portion. There are much more opportunities and the possibilities out there that we can, together with you, our customers, can benefit from. But okay, so what we would like to do now is to really talk to our specialists, the ones who knows what they are really talking about, to get a better understanding about the investment here in Smedjebacken. So welcome, Johan Lyttbacka, process development of the steel mill, and Anneli Arnhelm, manager for the technical customer support. So we're gonna have some question here, and I'm gonna start with you, Johan. Can you just shortly describe and explain for our customers how the vacuum degassing process works here in Smedjebacken?
Okay, yes. Just briefly, before the heat is taken to the tank, it's just finalized in the ladle furnace with the correct chemical and slag chemistry and the temperature. Then, like you saw in the movie, we put it inside the tank and then the cover on to get a airtight sealing. Then we can start the pump down. And we decrease the pressure inside the tank with help of mechanical pumps. So the vacuum system consists of 4 modules of pumps setups called skids, and in each model is consisting of 3 different pumps. So in total we have 12 pumps, so a lot of suction capacity. Anyway, then we do the pump down. It roughly takes 7 to 8 minutes. Then we keep it below 1.33 millibar for roughly 15 to 20 minutes, depending on customer demands on the hydrogen level. Then back in atmospheric pressure, take steel sample and temperature. Then we receive the chemistry, maybe do some final trimming of the steel with help of the wires we have if it's needed, and then do some soft bubbling and send it to the customer. Roughly.
Yeah, thank you for that brief. But I mean, when I looked at this video that we just show about the equipment when we installed it, it's really huge and a lot of things happen. And in these difficult times, I mean, you really need to have, I guess, a reliable supplier. And how does that work? And who have helped us here and supplied this equipment?
Yeah, the supplier of the equipment was the SMS Group, the Italian part. So yeah, one of the biggest one of manufacturing steel equipment for steel making industry. So it helped a lot with this time being So work with them.
Great to hear that. Okay, over to you, Anneli, and I'm just curious here. I mean, and I think our customer are as well. Will all steels going through the steel plant here in Smedjebacken, will they all be vacuum treated?
No, not all. Shall I continue? Yes. Not all of them. No, we calculate that somewhere slightly below 50% will be vacuum degassed, because approximately 50% of the steels that we produce are either sensitive to hydrogen or it's a customer demand. The other 50%, more than 50%, is not really sensitive, so we are not going to treat it. These calculations were made on our historical values, numbers, volumes. Maybe in future it's going to be 100%, but not right now.
No, okay. And I mean, what will this? I mean, what effect will this be? I mean, there might be. I mean, will this prolong the steel production, Johan, when we add this treatment, the vacuum treatment?
Nah, it will not affect the productivity in the plant, but it will. Yeah, for sure. It takes 45 minutes to do this extra treatment. So 45 minutes more in the ladle, but not affect the productivity in the plant. So.
Okay. Anneli, everyone, a lot of people talking, when we're talking vacuum degassing, we're talking hydrogen.
Yes.
A lot of that. And can you just explain why that is so important?
Yeah. If I have a few hours, we can really go into details, but very quickly, hydrogen is the smallest of the atoms that we have, and it can cause some problems. It can go anything from increase in brittleness, normally you don't want stuff to be brittle, all the way up to creating inner cracks that form with quite a bit of a delay. So quite a tricky part. And where this happens depends a bit on the grade, the hardness, and whatever hardness you have put into it. So by going to higher grades, we are going to be more sensitive to hydrogen, and that's why we remove it as quickly as possible.
Okay. So, Johan, Anneli explains here how it's important to control the hydrogen. So what can you deliver on this? What can you say about what type of levels will we achieve? And also maybe if we are not achieving that, can we rescue some material or something? Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. For a moment, we can guarantee 2.0 ppm of hydrogen levels and lower, but 2 point is the level. If we don't achieve it, then this is taken in the tonnage on the caster machine to ensure to be the correct level for the customer. And if we're not making the target, then we have the possibility to still use the annealing furnaces to reduce the hydrogen content.
Okay. And just so I understand, you are measuring the hydrogen in the ton dish, or
yes,
where do you?
With the hydrous system from Electronite. So Heraeus Electronite so it's a standard equipment for steel making. So,
okay,
not in detail how it works, but yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah. So Johan, he will lower the hydrogen level. That's what he say here. But are there other elements or other things in the steel that will be affected also, Anneli?
Yes. As we talk of the vacuum reducing the dissolved gases, we are going to reduce the oxygen level and the nitrogen level. The oxygen is very important because oxygen will form oxides, they will form non-metallic inclusions. And then we come into Göran's presentation about cleanliness. If we can reduce the oxygen level, we will reduce the content of non-metallic inclusions, which means the steel is going to be cleaner.
Okay, great, thank you. And I mean, I just wanted to bring this up because, I mean, during this week, we have had a big success bringing in a new automotive business into Smedjebacken, and thanks to the vacuum degassing and the possibility with our larger billets. But when we're talking about automotive business and so, I mean, in my world, there's a lot of approvals, we're talking audits and things like that. How is that possible to get like an approval from a big car manufacturer in these times, what we have? How have you done that? Can you please explain a little bit around that?
Yes, the important part was, of course, that the customer wanted to do the audit. quite a lot of preparation from their side, of course, filling out questionnaires, asking questions. We did our big fair share of work, and together we had a 3-hour meeting, a virtual audit with all the preparations done in beforehand. It was really very efficient, and we felt very comfortable with it, as well as the customer. So very happy.
That's great.
As it's a process change, we have to do this for all the automotive industry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we're really innovative here at Ovako. So we are happy to meet you customers in the future, both digital and of course also later here in Smedjebacken. And just let's see if Anna or maybe Anneli has this under control here. We are see if we have any questions coming in from the audience.
Yes. So I think the total volume in Smedjebacken, how much goes via VTD in tons and percentage? Well, we have said that less than 50%. Right now, we're not really there because we're ramping up, but it's going to be less than 50%.
Yeah.
Something which is commercial, based upon surcharges. Can you give an estimate on the extra for VTD?
Hans, do you want to comment on the surcharges? But I mean, it's not gonna. We have the surcharges that we have on scrap and alloys. That's what we have. But maybe you can talk a little bit about that, Hans.
Yeah,
It's
so I
not
mean,
gonna
if we talk about surcharges, I mean, if it's like alloy or scrap surcharges, obviously it will not change. It remains the same whether it's a non-vacuum degassed steel or vacuum degassed. So there will be no difference in that respect. No.
Any more?
Yes. What's the minimum working pressure in your VTD? I think Johan already answered that.
Yeah, below 1.33 millibars.
Yes. What's the hydrogen content in the bearing steels? It's going to be less than 2%, 2 ppm, 2%, 2 ppm, 2 ppm. What's the minimum batch size, also the maximum? Well, when we do the treatment, it's a full heat, a full ladle. A full ladle is 125 tons. That's the minimum, that's the maximum. We cannot treat anything less, anything more. We have our dear friend Gregory Navarre asking, what kind of components of forged device have you already got approval for?
Oh, I mean, the approvals we have received is for a crankshaft for a personal vehicle, personal car. So that's what we got approved on this week.
Yes. That was it.
Okay. So with that, thank you very much, everyone out there, for the questions and taking your time to listen to us. And I'm going to now hand over to Anna.
Well, great. Thank you very much. I wish to thank you all for participating in this event. It has been so much fun. And today we heard about the recent VTD investment in Smedjebacken and how cleaner steel enables better products and how the world-leading carbon footprint of Ovako in Smedjebacken is further strengthened. We are proud and happy about this, and we are excited to share this together with you, our customers, and with this, with our new capabilities and open new market opportunities, we really look forward to build on this and support you in an even better way. So, for us, to all of you, we wish you a really good holiday season. Thank you.